Today I am taking you on a one-day trip from Mumbai to the Swedish Embassy of New Delhi. Let's go. For those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Chaitanya and I'll be moving from India to Sweden in order to complete my studies in Master's Program in Drug Discovery and Development this August. For the people who don't know, in order to study in Sweden, you need a residence permit card. It's not called a visa. And after you get acceptance from any of the universities in Sweden, you can start the process for the residence permit application. Now, if I'm being completely honest, the residence permit application for Sweden is one of the easiest out there. It's very streamlined because there are a lot of immigrants in Sweden. So they have really simplified the entire process. So if you guys are planning on studying in Sweden, you can easily follow the process once you get acceptance from a university. But today I'll be sharing my experience of when I visited the Swedish Embassy in New Delhi in order to complete my passport verification and my biometrics registration. So once I completed this online application for my residence permit card, I got a mail from the Swedish Migration Agency that I needed to be present at New Delhi within a month and verify my passport in person and give my biometrics. So I booked the earliest flight tickets to New Delhi and I planned a one-day return, which was one hell of a journey. I headed for the airport at 11 PM in the night because my flight was scheduled for 3 AM in the morning. We soon boarded the flight at 3 AM, which was completely on time, and reached New Delhi at approximately 5:15 AM or so. Now the timings for biometrics and passport verification are 8:30 AM to 10:30 AM in the Swedish Embassy at New Delhi, so I had a little time to kill. So I just ate some food that I had gotten along with me and just roamed around at the airport. I reached the Swedish Embassy at approximately 8 o'clock in the morning, which from the airport is around like a 15 or 20 minute drive. It's not that bad. But when I reached there, I realized that there were already a lot of people in the line, which means that people start taking an appointment before the official timings even start. So if you guys are planning to go to the Swedish Embassy as well, keep that in mind. You might be able to reach there early and you won't have to wait a long time after the line actually starts going in. But we reached by around 8 o'clock in the morning, and the Swedish Embassy is this sweet little spot on a road which is completely covered by trees. I wasn't allowed to take any videos or photos inside the embassy, so this is a video of the view outside the embassy, but it's a very sweet spot. A few things that you need to keep in mind before you actually get there is that they don't have any lockers where you can keep your bags and your personal belongings when you go inside. But at the same time, it's a very safe and secure area. There are multiple people who take care of your bags as well. So most people, when they enter the embassy, they just leave the bags outside. They don't have to worry about that. So if you are considering taking someone with you just because you want someone to take care of your bag, you don't really need to. You can go there alone. It's completely fine. Apart from that, if you are a student, you need to keep in mind that most likely you will not be interviewed. You will just have to present your passport for verification, and they'll take your fingerprints, they'll take your picture, they'll take your signature and all of these things, basic things that biometrics usually encompass. But apart from that, there's nothing really very special about the process. It's like a 10 or 15 minute process. But the queue can be a little long. So make sure that you go in early because after 10:20 AM, they do not take any appointments at all. Now, long story short, it was a simple process overall. I just went in, I gave all of my biometrics, I presented the passport to them. But one important thing that you need to keep in mind is that when you are to collect your residence permit card from a Swedish consulate in India, it's done in very specific locations. From what I have seen so far, it can be done in Chennai and it can be done in Kolkata. So they are the only ones who distribute the residence permit cards. And if you are to courier those residence permit cards to Chennai or Kolkata, you need to bring 700 rupees in cash while you go to the Swedish Embassy in New Delhi. And this is an important part because some people there, we could clearly see that they had not read the instructions on the website and then they were asking for that cash because most of them only had online payment. So if you go there, keep that in mind. You'll have to carry a certain amount of money in order to courier those residence permit cards. You can go to the Swedish Migration Agency website to have a look at what the charges actually are. So we left it around 11:30 because our queue was that long. There were a lot of families, there were a lot of kids, so that also took that long. After that, we reached the airport. We had a little bit of food again. The returning flight was a little bit delayed, so we started from New Delhi at around 3:45 or 4 p.m. but landed back in Mumbai at around 5:15 or 5:30 p.m. or something. So in general, if you're a student, I would say that the Swedish Migration Agency does a good job overall. It's a very streamlined process. And yes, it's a little inconvenient because a lot of major spots in India, they don't have the Swedish Embassy for students. You have to go to New Delhi. But at the same time, the process itself is not that difficult. And yeah, apart from that, I landed back in Mumbai, I reached home. They'll also give you this receipt which you'll have to keep safe because it's basically an acknowledgement that you went to the Swedish Embassy in New Delhi, you completed this entire process, and when you collect the residence permit card from any consulate, you most likely will have to produce this receipt at that point as well, along with your passport, of course. So just keep these things in mind. But apart from that, this process didn't require any other documents. If you're a student especially, it just required your passport. I hope this video helps you out. I hope you find this informative, and at the same time I also hope that you enjoyed the clips that I took on airports. And until next time, bye bye.